Hello everyone, welcome to our session on the 2026 AI SaaS revolution. I'm so excited to be your guide as we explore how the landscape of software development has fundamentally shifted. We aren't just writing code anymore, we are orchestrating intelligence. The biggest change we've seen is the move from manual coding to what we call agentic orchestration. We now use power tools like Atoms for UI, Base 4.4 for backend logic, and Claude Code as our primary reasoning engine. This stack allows us to move from a raw idea to a launched product in a fraction of the time it used to take. To really appreciate where we are, we have to look at the evolution of development time. It's not just an incremental improvement, it's a total collapse of the traditional timeline. Take a look at this chart. In 2020, launching a SaaS took about 6 months of intense labor. By 2024, that dropped to 1 month. But here, in 2026, we are hitting the 4-hour milestone. You can start your morning with a concept and have paying users by lunch. This speed changes the very nature of entrepreneurship. This image captures the essence of our new workflow: seamless, automated, and highly creative. Over the next few modules, we're going to master this stack so you can build your own micro SaaS MVP. Before we dive into the technical details, let's reflect on this shift. Now that we've framed the revolution we're in, let's look at the actual tools you'll be using. This is your 2026 AI stack, the essential foundation for any 100% AI-driven build. Starting with the front end, we have Atoms. We no longer spend days tweaking CSS. Atoms allows for rapid AI component generation, letting you build complex interfaces through natural language descriptions. For the backend and hosting, Base 4.4 is the standard for zero infra operations. It handles the deployment and scaling automatically, so you can focus entirely on your product's value instead of server maintenance. The logic layer is the brain of your SaaS. By using MindStudio, you can design agentic flows, autonomous sequences where the AI makes decisions and executes tasks dynamically. Finally, take a look at this comparison table. It's important to choose the right tool for the job, whether you're aiming for a lean micro SaaS or a high-security enterprise solution. Building on this, we'll next see how these layers connect into a single architecture. Let's break down the architecture of a production-grade AI agent. This is how a prompt transforms into a high-value response. Every journey starts here, at the front end. In 2026, we're talking about low-latency, streaming interfaces using Next.js. The AI orchestrator is your mission control. It doesn't just pass text, it manages state, memory, and tool routing. Before the LLM even sees the prompt, we query the vector DB. This retrieval-augmented generation provides the private context your model needs. Now, the LLM processes the augmented prompt. This is where the heavy-duty reasoning happens. Finally, we don't wait for the full response. We stream the result back to the user instantly via WebSockets or SSE for that live feel. Building on that live streaming feel we just discussed, let's move into phase 1, defining the core loop. This is the stage where we architect the entire system through high-level AI prompting rather than manual labor. We start by drafting AI-driven system blueprints. Instead of manually drawing boxes, we use specialized agents to map out the core modules and their interactions, creating a reliable skeleton for your SaaS project. Next, look here at step 2. We use natural language schemas. You describe your data requirements in plain English, and the AI translates that into a robust schema that can grow with your application. Step 3 is absolutely vital: pre-code logic validation. We instruct the AI to mentally simulate the business logic. This helps us catch architectural flaws or edge cases while it's still cheap and easy to fix them. Finally, we use MindStudio to map out user journeys. This ensures the backend logic aligns perfectly with the actual user experience. By defining this loop clearly, we set ourselves up for success in the next phase. Any questions before we move to a quick knowledge check? Building on the infrastructureless concepts we just covered, let's dive into phase 2, full stack generation. This is the heart of the 2026 workflow, where we move from architectural planning to actually manifesting the application. We start with system orchestration. By executing Claude Code commands, you're not just writing lines of code, you're directing an agent to scaffold your entire file system. It handles the boilerplate, directory structure, and initial environment setup automatically. Next is stack integration. This is where the magic of the 2026 stack shines. We connect our Atoms front-end components directly to base 4.4 backends. The AI ensures that the API contracts match and that data flows seamlessly between your UI and your data stores without manual glue code. Notice the module automation here. Instead of spending days on auth and payment integrations, we use rapid generation for Stripe or AI Pay. You describe your billing logic, and the agent generates the secure checkout flows and user sessions in minutes. Finally, we have iterative refinement. We've moved past traditional debugging. Now, it's conversation-based debugging. You tell the agent what isn't working in plain English, and it iterates on the code until the behavior matches your intent. This approach turns development into a high-level dialogue. Building on the generation phase we just covered, let's talk about getting your app into the hands of users. Phase 3 is all about deployment and the revolutionary concept of self-healing infrastructure. This is where your vision truly comes to life. For deployment, we leverage Base 4.4. In 2026, we've moved past complex server provisioning. Base 4.4 provides an instant transition from your local AI agent's environment to the live web. It's essentially a zero-config workflow that lets you iterate and launch at the speed of thought. Of course, speed requires safety. Our AI-driven CI/CD pipelines act as a smart filter. These aren't just static scripts. They are intelligent pipelines that simulate user behavior and perform automated security audits to ensure that every update strengthens the product. This is one of the most critical shifts: self-healing systems. Imagine your SaaS having its own immune system. AI agents monitor live environments 24/7. If they detect a bug or a performance bottleneck, they can diagnose the root cause and even apply real-time fixes before your users ever notice a problem. Finally, scaling has become intuitive. With intelligent scaling, you don't need to be a DevOps expert. You simply set traffic rules using natural language, for example, prioritize resources for our API during peak Asian market hours, and the infrastructure scales itself automatically. We've now covered the entire lifecycle, from the initial core loop to a self-sustaining live application. You have the stack, the architecture, and the deployment strategy. Next, we're going to put everything we've learned into practice as we build your own micro SaaS MVP. Now that we've explored the full stack architecture and self-healing deployment strategies in our previous phases, it's time for the capstone of this session: building your very own AI-powered productivity SaaS. This is where everything from the prompt to product workflow to the 2026 AI stack comes together into a live, functional MVP. Your mission is to create a tool that handles document uploads and generates automated summaries, complete with a professional landing page, authentication, and a database. Choose your role, start the orchestration, and let's get your project deployed at a live URL before we finish today. This project is the culmination of our entire journey, and I'm excited to see your ideas take flight. Let's build something incredible and wrap up this session with a win.